His sleep was never peaceful. Night after night, the same haunting vision returned. A forest where even the birds held their breath, a village swallowed by shadows, and a single word scratched into an ancient wooden beam, CROATOAN, not merely a word, but a message, a warning. For John White, it wasn't just a dream, it was a prophecy, one he wished he could forget, but never would. Welcome to MyMinorScope. Today we travel not just through time, but into the heart of one of history's most haunting mysteries. A tale where hope and heartbreak walked side by side, where silence became louder than screams, and where one man's love for his family still echoes through the trees. This is the story of John White and the inexplicable disappearance of the Lost Colony of Roanoke. The year was 1587. England, thirsty for new land and new glory, prepared to send settlers to the New World. John White, an artist, a dreamer, and now a governor, was appointed to lead the voyage. He wasn't alone. 117 settlers accompanied him, each carrying dreams bigger than the sea they crossed. Among them, his daughter Eleanor and her husband. Soon, Eleanor would give birth to John's first grandchild. It wasn't just colonization. It was a family's future, a nation's seed, a new land awaited. They called it Roanoke. Roanoke began to take shape, not as a fortress, but as a home. Tents gave way to timber houses. The soil, rich and stubborn, was tilled with tired but hopeful hands. And then, a cry, not of pain, but of birth. Virginia Dare, Eleanor's daughter, was born, the first English child in the Americas. John held her, tears hidden in his beard. Hope had a name now. Evenings glowed with fires and stories. Music carried through the trees. Trade with friendly native tribes brought not just goods, but rituals, laughter, and trust. John White painted what he saw, not just scenes, but beginnings. It felt like the future had already arrived. But paradise does not bloom without shadow. Storms began to batter the coast. Their supplies, already limited, ran low. Some native tribes, once friendly, turned cautious and then distant. Animals prowled near their dwellings, and rumors of pirates along the shore stirred unease. Hunger whispered in corners. Eyes grew more alert. The settlers began to murmur the same question each morning. Will help come before it's too late? It was a painful decision, but there seemed no other way. The colony needed supplies, protection, a voice in England. And so, John White prepared to sail back. He hugged his daughter, kissed his granddaughter's forehead. He promised to return swiftly. None of them believed it would be 3 years. None of them imagined he might never see them again. The sea was not kind. Waves towered like giants. Months passed as ships were rerouted, delayed, or damaged. And when John finally reached England, a greater storm awaited, war with Spain. The Spanish Armada now dominated the seas. Queen Elizabeth ordered that no ship could leave English shores. Every vessel was to serve the crown. 1 month became 6, then 12, then more. John pleaded, he wept, but England had no room for sentiment, only survival. Finally, in 1590, 3 full years since his departure, John secured a ship and set sail back across the Atlantic. The waves still fought him, but hope guided the sails. As they neared Roanoke, he searched the coastline with desperate eyes. The beach appeared. The trees stood tall, but the world felt wrong. No smoke, no sound. And then he saw it. Nothing. The village was gone. Homes dismantled. No bodies, no blood, no chaos, just absence. He ran through the clearing, calling their names. No answer, no echo. But then, on a lone post, one word carved deeply, CROATOAN. He had told them before leaving, if you relocate, carve the name. If in danger, add a cross. There was no cross, Just that name. A clue, a hope, a final goodbye. There were no signs of struggle, no hurried departure. It looked almost planned. CROATOAN. It was the name of a nearby island, and perhaps a direction. But nothing else. No map, no guide, no farewell letter. Only that word, like a message from a ghost. He returned to England, a man hollowed by silence. He lived out his days painting less, speaking less. But he never stopped dreaming of Eleanor, of Virginia, of the colony that vanished without a sound. And always, always, he remembered that word, CROATOAN, etched not just in wood, but in his soul. Some believe the settlers merged with local tribes. They learned new ways, spoke new tongues, and chose to disappear into life, not death, not vanished, just transformed, becoming something between history and myth. Years passed. New expeditions came. They searched the forests, the coasts, the rivers. They dug and mapped, but found nothing. No bones, no journals, only stories. And that chilling silence, that still endures. Within decades of John White's return to England, other colonial leaders, driven by curiosity, fear, or orders, began searching the surrounding lands. Governors sent scouts into tribal territories. Some claimed to hear stories of white-skinned people who had lived with the tribes, but records were vague, the terrain vast. No expedition brought proof, only rumors and more questions. By the 19th century, historians and explorers reignited the Roanoke mystery. Archaeological digs began, rudimentary yet hopeful. Artifacts surfaced, tools, pottery, even coins. Some matched the period, but none screamed Roanoke. Still, universities, museums, and private collectors fueled research. The legend gained new life, this time in lecture halls and dusty archives. In the 21st century, technology took the lead. Ground-penetrating radar, drone mapping, DNA studies. One project traced rare European lineage in native communities nearby. Others uncovered signs of settlements beyond the original colony. But certainty remains elusive. Roanoke isn't just a mystery now. It's a puzzle science still can't solve. Centuries later, whispers still arise. Historians trace bloodlines. In certain tribes, children with light eyes and fair skin appear. Some dialects carry English words, worn by time but present. Are they echoes of Roanoke? Are they the descendants of the lost? Satellites now scan from above. Archaeologists still dig where clues grow colder. Every document is re-examined, but the only thing truly recovered is that word, CROATOAN. It has become more than a clue. It's become a legend. And sometimes, far from the sea, in a village no map records, a child appears with a birthmark, a gaze, a way of walking that feels strangely familiar, as if Roanoke never left. The wind moves through Carolina trees, like fingers through forgotten pages. It whispers, where did they go? Why no trace? The story of Roanoke isn't lost. It's just waiting to be heard again. Thank you for watching MyMinorScope. If this mystery moved you, consider adopting a tree in memory of the past we still seek to understand. Let history grow roots again. Let silence bloom into understanding. And let the forgotten be remembered.